In this video I want to talk about the concept of inflation. And what it's saying is, if today I go into a store and I buy everything that I need, this store sells absolutely everything that I need, and I fill up my shopping cart with it and it costs me $100. I come back in 1 year and I buy the exact same stuff, it costs me $105, then I have a 5% inflation, because the price of the exact same stuff has gone up 5%. This is going to be important when it comes time to make decisions about loaning money. I'm not going to loan $100 today to get back $105 in the future if inflation's 5%. Why not? Because I can't buy anything more. The only reason I give up consumption today, the only reason I give up spending $100 a day to get whatever I want, is so I'll get more money a year from now to buy more of the things I want. Right? So I have a certain real rate of return. Lowercase r is going to be the real rate of return. That means actual increase in purchasing power. Let's just say that I want my real rate of return to be equal to 3%. So that's saying I will give up money today, I will give up spending money today, consuming things, if a year from now I can consume 3% more stuff. The inflation rate I'm going to represent with I is inflation. I need to estimate what the inflation rate is, and I'm going to guess. I don't know. That's one of the problems with finance. I don't know what inflation is going to be. I'm guessing it's going to be 5%. Alright, so if I demand, in order for me to loan you money, I need to have my purchasing power increased by 3%. That's the real rate of return. If I think inflation is going to be 5%, then what's going to be my nominal rate? When you say, well, what interest rate do I need to pay? That's the nominal rate, the stated rate, the named rate. So what's that nominal rate going to be equal to? It's going to be this. Capital R is going to equal, I should say this, 1 plus capital R is going to equal 1 plus lowercase r times 1 plus h, inflation. And if I do the math here, nominal R is going to equal to the real rate of return plus inflation plus real times inflation. If you struggle with that, remember FOIL, and you can go to Khan Academy or something and look up how to do that math. But this is how to determine the nominal rate. So I would say here is I need this 3% return, plus I think inflation is going to be 5%, and there's this extra portion here because that's kind of how the math works out. I'm not going to get into that detail now. So that means the nominal rate is 8.15%, or I can write it like this, 8.15%. Okay, so some people will say, you know, the problem with this is you're being a little too exact. Inflation, I need to estimate that number. I'm not sure exactly what that number is going to be. It's really going to be pretty small. Usually the target inflation rate in the U.S. is right now is 2%. So some people say, rather than using this exact equation in blue, I'm going to have in squiggly equals for approximately R plus H. So I have two relationships for inflation. One is the exact, which is this. The other is the approximate, which is here. So the math here is pretty easy. You have, given two of the three, you have to solve for the third. So algebraically that should be simple, but conceptually what I want you to know is, in order for me to loan money, I need to have a certain real rate of return so I can increase my purchasing power. I know inflation is going to eat away my purchasing power, so the rate I quote, I'm willing to loan you money at whatever percent, that's the nominal rate. I need to find that nominal rate by using this equation if I want to be perfectly exact. But you know, it's hard to estimate inflation exactly, so maybe back of the envelope I can use this. So that's inflation.